What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Caden, or Cantina Comics, and today we're going to be ranking every single suit that we had seen in the Avengers Doomsday trailer that had released just a few days ago. A ton of characters showed up in the trailer, and with that we get to see some first looks at their suits. So let's make a list of worst to best and rank them all. But quickly before that, if you're new around here, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're very quickly approaching 1,000 subscribers, and my goal is to hit that by the time that Spider-Man Brand New Day releases in theaters at the end of July. So every confirmed character that we have is going to be appearing in this video. People that we've had from the teasers, as well as now the official trailer, as well as casting announcements like the Doomsday Chairs video, and coming from the Marvel Wiki. It's not always 100% accurate, but the majority of the time it's pretty spot on. If you don't want to hear me explain how I'm gonna break everything down and go ahead and list the characters, go ahead and skip to this timestamp. So for everyone that'll be appearing in Avengers Doomsday, we have Sam Wilson, Captain America, Ant-Man, Cassie Lang, Shang-Chi, Loki, Love, Mr. Fantastic, Sue Storm, the Human Torch, The Thing, Franklin Richards, Herbie, Bucky, Yelena, Walker, Alexi, Ghost, Sentry, Black Panther, M'Baku, Namor, Namora, Atuma, Falcon, Doctor Doom, Professor X, Magneto, Beast, Cyclops, Mystique, Nightcrawler, Gambit, Steve Rogers, James Rogers, Peggy Carter, American Chavez, Doctor Strange, and Deadpool. But we've seen basically a fraction of these characters, and honestly, a good amount of these characters aren't even wearing suits. So for those, they're going to be in a category at the very bottom just because we haven't seen them. I don't really think it's fair to rank them. They're going to kick off our first category, and that is the haven't appeared yet section. And the first character to kick off this list is going to be America Chavez. I don't know if she's going to have her camouflage uniform she had at the end or her main suit that she had throughout Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I also don't know how big of a role she's been playing in this film. It's been quite a few years since we've seen her in the MCU, so if she returns, I'm assuming it'll be a little bit of an updated suit, but who knows? Let's move on to the next one, and that is Atuma. And we know from the Bomberman set photos and from the Instagram posts that he is here, and in the trailer we'd already seen Namora, so I guarantee he's here somewhere as well. And I'm assuming just like Namora, he's gonna have his Wakanda Forever suit. I don't really think a whole bunch has changed. For the next one though, we know he's gonna be in the film, and that is Alan Cumming, Nightcrawler. We've seen interviews, I've made videos upon that myself on Cantina Talk. He's definitely spoiled a couple things for this film, and I'm really excited to see what his outfit will look like. The interesting one though here is Deadpool. I don't really know where this one is coming from. I'm assuming if he shows up, it's gonna be his Deadpool Wolverine suit. But like I said, this is the only one where I really have no clue where the hell this is coming from. Steve Rogers cannot have had James Rogers without Peggy, and so she's got to be in here, and she was also one of the few confirmed characters really early on in production. We have no clue where Doctor Strange is going to be wearing, or what he's really going to be looking like. He probably still is going to have the third eye. I hope he doesn't, but we have to mention that because that's the last time we saw him. And next up, starting off our regular clothes category, is James Rogers. Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter's kid, and he's just in his PJs, he's a baby, he doesn't have a suit. I'm assuming they might show him grown up towards the end of the film, or at least a little bit older, but I doubt we're gonna see him in a costume. And moving on to the same trend, we have Franklin Richards. We know he's gonna be in the film. I'm almost 100% sure Doctor Doom is gonna take him, and I would love to see him in a suit. That's probably gonna be saved for Secret Wars though, along with Valeria. Next up, we have Love, and we really only see her in the Thor teaser, where she's laying in bed wearing pajamas. Like all of these, I don't know if they're gonna have suits, but we've just seen them in the trailer, so I'm going to mention them. And the same goes for the next one, and that is Cassie Lang. I'm assuming her suit that she had in Quantumania will be returning for this one, but we only see her really wearing this hoodie with her hair dyed blonde. And with that, we're going to move on to the next character, another person in their pajamas, and this being Sentry. He's wearing this bathrobe. I'm assuming he's going to be in his normal yellow suit at some point in this film, as well as probably turn into the Void. I don't really know. He very well could be the Molecule Man replacement. I'm probably going to make a video on that in the future, but he is here. And another member of the new Avengers that is here in this list is Alexi. He is wearing this like racing suit type jumper thing. I doubt this is the suit he's gonna have in a film. Honestly, I even know it's not because he's later on in this list in the concept art section. I'm assuming this is just for a gag and it's gonna be here. We really haven't seen his full suit yet though. But with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next spot. And now the last person for the regular clothes category, and that is Steve Rogers, aka Man. This isn't Captain America, this isn't Nomad, this isn't Captain Hydra, this is just fucking Steve. I really hope he doesn't have this throughout the entire film. It would kind of suck. I would like to see him back in a suit. I know he's not gonna be Cap, but we gotta do something, dude. This isn't that. I mean, I'm glad he's got Mjolnir back, but he's just fucking Man. And now moving on to our official concept art section, we're going to be going over this big spread that we had gotten at Billy World that shows a lot of these characters' designs. And the first character on this list is Red Guardian, and we can see a little bit of his new suit. There's not really a whole lot we can tell from here, besides the fact that he has a goatee and a fresh fade. That's really about it. Same goes to the next one, and that is Magneto. His helmet here looks really sick. He also kind of looks like he's wearing part of the clothes that he was wearing in the X-Men trailer, but it does seem updated too. Like Alexi's, we're hardly seeing any of it here. And lastly, in the honorable honorable mention category, we have Goddess Stories Loki. If you look, he's positioned underneath Dr. Doom here, and he's wearing his costume from the season 2 finale. And if this appears in the film, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be at my number 4 spot. But because we have actual footage of him in the TVA outfit, that's going to be the main one I'm using for the video. But we have him in this concept art here. I have to mention it because I love this suit so much, and it's going to be really high up there if it appears in the film. Alrighty, now to kick off our main list, at the number 28 spot, we have Loki in his TVA uniform. It looks to be slightly updated from Loki season 2. This is just the jacket with the tie. But the only thing is, though, we got some concept art from Marvel, and Loki is wearing his season 2 finale suit. So I don't really know how this is all going to work. I'm assuming he's like in disguise as a TVA analyst. Overall, though, this is basically just normal clothes. If he shows up in his Goddess Stories Loki suit, that'll be at the number 4 spot. But because we've only seen him in his TVA uniform, he's going to be at the number 28 spot. Next up, at the number 27 spot, we have Herbie, and he does have some subtle changes that we'd seen in the official trailer. If you look closely here in the trailer, we can see that he now has these like glow in the dark or just light up eyes. To be honest with you, I don't really know if I'm a huge fan of these. I really liked his original eyes that he had in First Steps. I feel like everything with Herbie in that film was so unique, and just this eye change just feels so off. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, but it's not really a giant change, so that is why it's here. Next up, at the number 26 spot, we have Namora, and I'm almost 100% sure that this is just her suit that she had in Wakanda Forever. We only get this one shot of her, and it looks literally identical, almost the exact same. If someone knows for sure, please let me know in the comments down below. This just looks identical, and there's not really a whole lot to go to it. It's just her suit, it's good, it works, so we're to move on. And now at the number 25 spot, we have Falcon, aka Joaquin Torres. And like Sam Wilson's Captain America suit that's later down on this list, his Falcon suit is the exact same as the one in Brave New World. It honestly might be a little bit over-designed, but I don't really think it matters all that much. We have the classic colors, and in flight, this suit looks great. And with this suit, there really isn't much more to add, so I'm gonna move on. And now at the number 24 spot, we have Ava Starr, aka Ghost. Again, just like Bucky and Yelena, this is her Thunderbolts post-credit scene suit. On the top of her left shoulder, she has the new Avengers logo. I love that all these characters have it in their own place. Minus Alexei, we haven't seen a suit yet, so we don't really know where that's gonna go. The one thing that I don't really like with this suit is the new hairstyle for her. I'm sure it works. I'm sure it looks fine. To me, it's just kind of odd. Overall, we saw this entire suit throughout Thunderbolts. We got to spend some time with it. It's a suit. It works. So we're to move on. And now next up, at the number 23 spot, we have Yelena Belova, aka White Widow. And this looks like the exact same suit that we had seen from the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, where she has this olive kind of tactical uniform with the belt as well as her Widow's bites and the batons. Overall, this is a pretty good suit. There's not a whole lot to go with it. I honestly just wish they would have updated this more, especially for Avengers Doomsday. And now at our number 22 spot, we have Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, and this looks to be just his normal Fantastic Four First Steps suit, but with an added jacket, and I don't really know if I like this all that much. But it's primarily all the normal Fantastic Four blue, with the darker blue border around the collar, and then with the collars being white. Honestly, I feel like this would fit with Reed Richards so much more because he doesn't have any white at all. It looks so off-putting to me. But there is another shot of him in the trailer where he's holding Franklin with the sun behind him, and he doesn't have the jacket here, so I don't think it's gonna last very long. Here's the hoping anyway. And now moving on to our number 21 spot, we have John Walker, U.S. Agent. This is just his new Thunderbolts post-credit scene U.S. Agent suit. He has the new Avengers logo on the opposite side of Bucky's, and his shield is still bent like a taco. I kind of hope that they fix this. I don't really want him to go throughout the entire movie having folded shield. The gag is great and all, but I really hope they fix it. And as well, I hope they give him back his helmet. The bray is alright, I guess. I don't really like it on him. It looks really weird on Wyatt's head. And I think the helmet that he had in Thunderbolts looked probably the best. It looked really weird in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so I don't want that one. But this one was updated and it fit his face more. Thank you to Degree and FIFA for sponsoring this video. This package just arrived at my house. Let's go ahead and unbox it all together. So right away when I opened it up, I could tell that this was from Degree. I'm pretty sure it's Degree as in like Degree deodorant. Yeah, so this was the box that was inside. Let's go ahead and open it up. Oh my god. Okay. First things first, we have this card. FIFA and Degree, official sponsor of the World Cup 2026. So right away, there's already something sticking out here, and this is going to be the whole body deodorant. I have never really been a fan of spray deodorants. I'm gonna give this one a shot. I've just never really honestly tried these. I haven't really had a reason to. Oh, there's another one. Degree World Cup Cool Rush. So that's another one we got. Okay, I think this is it. So this is the third one. We have Degree 3-in-1. I'm honestly kind of excited to try all of these, so let's go ahead and do so. I grew up playing soccer a lot and was a fan of FIFA, and it was always fun playing the games, and it was really cool to get a package from them. When I was told this was getting sent out to me, I was kind of shocked. Once again, thank you so much to FIFA and Degree for sending this out to me. With that being said, let's get back to the ranking. And now, at our number 20 spot, we have Mystique. Right off the bat, I love that Rebecca Romijn is back, and I also love that they tried to make her comic book look, but I feel like these blue parts should not have been a leathery material, or even not have them at all. I don't need Mystique to be basically running around naked like she was in the previous films, but I would like to have more of her comic book costume implemented into the suit. Like, I understand the blue padding, but I feel like it just shouldn't be there. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. And another thing I noticed with the blue portions, there's this little diamond in the center, and it looks like the same material as Supergirl's first suit and James Gunn's Superman. If you look at the skirt, if you put these two side by side, to me they look nearly identical, like the piece was taken from that. And I really feel like it shouldn't, especially for Mystique. Enough complaining though, I love this suit so much, especially the headpiece with the hair, and the makeup looks great too. And there's this X-Men belt on here, and I really love it as well. I'm just glad that she's back and we have a suit for her. And now at our number 19 spot, we have Shang-Chi. His suit is primarily the same as it is in his movie, but there are some subtle upgrades to it. Now he has this belt as well as these baggy pants with the straps hanging down and some new shoes. I liked his original suit, it just felt like there was something missing, and it was overall just a very simplified design, and this was a great way to update it. The only thing I'd like to see here is just some green in the suit. But overall though, it's great. He has the 10 rings, they look the exact same. I want to see more of this fight, and I cannot wait for him to get a sequel movie. And now moving on to our number 18 spot, we have Reed Richards' Mr. Fantastic. And pretty much this is just his Fantastic Four First Step suit. And you're gonna hear me say this a lot throughout the video. A lot of these suits are just their suits they had in the previous films or the most recent project they showed up in. And that's not a bad thing. If the suits work, we don't need to make giant changes to them and over-design the fuck out of them in the future just to sell toys. If they work, let them get used, let them get beat up and rugged, and then you can give us a new suit. Don't just give us new suits to give us new suits. I feel like this is kind of an example of it. Minus Reed not really having any white on his Fantastic Four suit from First Steps, I thought it was overall pretty good, but now we have this jacket, and out of all three of the jackets that the characters have, this may be the best. Suits may be a little bit better. It just shouldn't be on Reed. If you're gonna give him a coat at all, just give him the lab coat. Overall though, this isn't bad. We do see him sneaking around the X-Mansion though, and he is wearing it, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay probably for the majority of the film. It's just nothing special. They just added a jacket. And then moving on to the number 17 spot, we have the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky Barnes. And this is just his new Avengers suit that we had seen at the end of Thunderbolts. I love the big red star on the shoulder, as well as the new Avengers logo on the chest. I love the bracers he has on his one wrist, and the straps he has looks like he ties everything together, including his leg holster. Overall, this is a pretty solid Winter Soldier suit, especially for him being part of a team, and that vibranium armor contrasts really well with the rest of the colors in this suit. And then moving on to our number 16 spot, we have Ant-Man, aka Scott Lang. And honestly, I think this was one of the few suits to be completely brand new. Maybe? This looks to be a mix of the Civil War suit, the Endgame suit, the Ant-Man and the Wasp suit, as well as the Quantumania suit. It's kind of an amalgamation of all three, and besides the original Ant-Man suit, this is probably the second best looking one. I'm glad that it's a practical suit once again. I hope the helmet isn't nanotech. We finally don't have this over-designed fucking chest area over here. It looks great. The paneling is not that bad, and the belt and the bracers look good too. Like I had said, I think this is the best looking Ant-Man suit, minus the original one. And there's not really a whole bunch more to add. It's good. It's great. It works. Let's move on. And now moving on to our number 15 spot, we have Sue Storm, aka the Invisible Woman. We have her regular Fantastic Four suit, but with this jacket added. This is more like a puffer jacket. And the first thing I noticed with this jacket is that there are 3 shades of blue here, going from darkest to lightest, going up to white. And I think it works the best and looks the best on her. Honestly, I think this might even be the best jacket out of the 3. And if anyone should have them, I think it makes the most sense for her. Ultimately though, I wish it wasn't here, but for her, I'm fine with it. Now moving on to our number 14 spot, we have Charles Xavier, aka Professor X. I love that we finally got this dude wearing a jacket with the X-Men logo. This looks great, and he's no longer wearing just a business suit. And Iron Studios had released some new 1/10 scale figures, and we can see the full look at Charles here. He has a turtleneck and this blue jacket, as well as some dress pants and dress shoes. He has a big X-Men logo above his left pocket and also on the belt. I love when they have it there. It's a small detail, but it really does go a long way. And we have this new chair. I honestly like the look of this one a lot. I wish they would have used the hover chair that we see in the Multiverse of Madness from the animated series, but that's just me nitpicking. This suit looks great. And now moving on to the number 13 spot, we have M'Baku. And he gets an entire redesign here, and I love his new suit so much. The turquoise really pops with the tan, and he also has the scarf and these tassels. I know not a lot of people like this suit as well as Shuri's, but I love it. Those turquoise elements just really stand out, and I think it's a good contrast with the tan. We haven't really seen a whole lot of it though. I would like to see more of it as well as Shuri's. M'Baku also has the fresh fade, and the suit is pretty fitting for him being king. Next up, at the number 12 spot, we have Nightcrawler. I'm so glad that Alan Cumming is back. He looks great, at least in this concept art. The white hair is very interesting. I guarantee they're doing it to show that he has aged since X2. And along with that, we got a better look at his suit with the minifigure that released. And we can definitely see here with the jacket, there's the big X-Men logo, as well as on the belt. And it looks like the jacket's gonna go all the way down through his shins. And he has these striped pants. So far though, his suit looks pretty good. And like in the concept art, we have the gray hair. It is a very interesting choice. I'm kind of waiting to see how it looks in the film. But if we take the design of this minifig into account, I think this is overall a pretty solid suit. Alright, next up, at our number 11 spot, we have Magneto. We only have seen him in the trailer wearing this robe as well as like hoodie situation, but we know he'll have his helmet, we know he'll have a suit, and with that, his official Avengers Doomsday hot toy had come out, and we got a way better look at his suit. I'm pretty sure he was just wearing it in the trailer, but it looked really ragged compared to this one, but this helmet looks awesome. I love the purple elements on here, along with having the horns. Last time we saw anything close to this was probably at the end of X-Men First Class, but let's move on to the suit. First thing that jumped out at me is that Magneto is wearing an X-Men belt. I love that he has this. It's very rare that we actually see him wearing an X-Men uniform, and I'm so glad that it's here. It looks like the outer layer of his cape is this gray material that kind of looks like wool in the trailer, but underneath we have this suit. There isn't really a whole lot going on the chest, but we have these kind of silver ab lines, as well as these red pants and black boots, and the inner side of the cape here is red. The only thing that I wish was that the inner side of this was purple and not the same color red as his suit, but this is awesome, and I think this is probably Ian McKellen's best look as Magneto. You gotta fight me about it in the comments down below. I just love how this looks so much. And at the number 10 spot, we have the Sentinels. This is another one of the official hot toys that was released, and I think this is the first time that we've had an actual comic book accurate Sentinel depicted in live action. I will say the colors aren't fully there, but this is also definitely the best design that we've had for them so far. And with the hot toys, they had said that the lights on the Sentinel will be lighting up yellow as well as green, so I'm assuming that these are going to be controlled by Dr. Doom. I really love the purple texturing all throughout this, as well as how it's two-toned so that we are breaking up the suit. It isn't all just one color. Overall though, I love this design and I cannot wait to see it in the film. And the scale with these Sentinels from the one shot with Cyclops look massive, as they should be, and they're gonna look so great. I can already tell, especially if the hot toy already looks this good. Now at the number 9 spot, we have Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. This is just a normal Fantastic Four first step suit minus the beard. The beard was nice. It was a great gag in the film. It worked exactly how it should. It should be a one and done thing. It shouldn't continue to carry on, and I'm glad I didn't. And all of the performance capture as well as CGI for Ben looked great, and it looks like it's only improved for Avengers Doomsday. And Ben, out of all the Fantastic Four members, is the only one to not get a jacket. I mean, he's huge, so that might be part of it, and having to do everything with CG, I don't know. I don't really think there's going to be any major changes to his character, at least in this film anyway. When it comes to Secret Wars, there's probably going to be some. And at the number 8 spot, we have Kelsey Grammer's Beast. We haven't really seen much of him. I'm mainly going to be going over his appearance in the Marvel's post-credit scene. And overall, Beast looks great. He finally has the fangs. It's awesome, and I'm glad it's here. We didn't know how much of that design was going to carry over, but looking at his hot toy here, we can tell that they pretty much ripped it straight from the post-credit scene, which is great. I love that Hank has the X-Men belt once again, like the other characters and their hot toys. And he has the blue and yellow pants with the yellow trim at the bottom, and he also has his fangs. I love when these are included. We barely got to see it with the previous films. I'm glad it's here as well. The only thing though is that I wish he would have had his lab coat. I guarantee he probably will, but it'll get ripped off or something along those lines. Once again, this looks great. I cannot wait to see him in the film. Moving on to the number 7 spot, we have Black Panther, aka Shuri, and it looks like they updated her Wakanda Forever suit. I really like everything they did with this. I always loved her suit when we saw it. I understand why people say it does look a little over-designed, but I think the turquoise accents here really help with that. It breaks it up more, and I love the fact that it's all over the top of the mask. I honestly think I prefer this version of her suit more so than her Wakanda Forever one. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. The green elements on the mask, the shoulder, and the going down to the chest all look great. Quickly, I just want to let you all know that I went ahead and made a Discord server to connect with all of you better. There we talk comics, movies, gaming, theories, you name it, it is all there. If this at all interests you, go ahead and join the Comic Shop Discord server. Links are in the description and in the pinned comment down below. At the number 6 spot, we have Sam Wilson, Captain America. This is literally just the same suit as the Brave New World one, but I love that suit and I loved it in the movie. It looks great. I wish we'd have the white, but I understand why we're not. I like that we had it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, although I think I prefer this one. This is more of his stealth suit, I guess, and I think it looks the best out of all the suits he's had so far. I just hope to God he doesn't have a nanotech helmet anymore, but knowing how the MCU is, he's probably gonna still have it. And with that being said, we're gonna move on. And now moving on to the number 5 spot, we have Thor's new suit. This suit is quite literally the exact same as his Infinity War suit. All of the patterns and lines on the suit are the exact same. The bracers are as well, and the cape. Really, the only change here is that the discs on his armor are gold instead of this chrome, and it's also currently on display at San Diego Comic-Con. I think the gold really stands out here. My only thing is, we had a perfect Thor suit in Love and Thunder for literally 3 fucking minutes. This suit should have been his main one, I think, for this movie. It's kind of a shame that it's literally just the Infinity War suit with one little change. So maybe it's just me. I love the fur in the back of the suit. It feels like Thor, especially with him not having his helmet anymore. Fuck that Love and Thunder helmet. I don't know what the hell they were doing with that one. I'm glad that one's not here. Overall though, his suit in this movie looks pretty sick. And with that, we're gonna move on. And at the number 4 spot, we have Channing Tatum's Gambit. His suit primarily is the exact same as the Deadpool Wolverine one, but once again, thanks to SDCC and Brandon Davis, we can see here that he has an updated belt with the X-Men logo. I'm so glad this is here. I'm glad that Channing Tatum's Gambit was able to get out of the void through a Doctor Strange portal and now become a member of the X-Men and finally find his home. I never hated this suit in Deadpool Wolverine when it first came out. If you didn't know, Channing Tatum was filming Blink twice at the exact same time as his appearance in Deadpool Wolverine, so there wasn't any time for him to slim down. And he since has and looks great as Gambit in this film. I can't wait to see more of his fight with Shang-Chi. And now moving on to the number 3 spot, we have Namor the Submariner. His suit got a complete redesign, and I love this so much. This looks fucking sick. First thing right off the bat is this high collar, and there's also this giant gold belt buckle that helps with that too. I love the gold accents everywhere on the arms and in the bracers and this belt buckle. And the suit was also on display at San Diego Comic-Con, and we got a better look of it. I don't like how the bottom of this is kind of like a skirt. I don't know, it just looks really weird, especially for Namor. If this was just a trench coat, I feel like that would have looked really sick. But I will say, I really love how much the blue shows up, especially with all this green around it, and it doesn't feel too overpowering. I also wonder if he has new vibranium wings or if he was able to grow his back. I'm not entirely sure. There is a shot of him flying, so I know that we'll definitely find out. Now at the number 2 spot, we have James Marsden's Cyclops. Without a doubt, this is one of the best suits to come out of Avengers Doomsday. I'm so glad that James Marsden's back and he's finally getting to don an actual fucking suit. And in the December trailer, the yellow really stood out against everything else with the suit, and it was so good to see it. And with the official trailer, we got to see more of this suit, and this suit is currently on display at San Diego Comic-Con. Shout out Brandon Davis, this footage is from him, and we can see here that the yellow on the boots isn't yellow, it's more of like a brown. It's kind of an odd choice, but in the trailer, it looks to be almost the same color yellow, like you can't tell the difference. I was honestly kind of wishing more for his visor, like I had the cups on the ears, but overall, this works, and once again, like some other characters, he got a Hot Toys reveal, and the brown boots make so much more sense now. He will have a brown jacket in the film, and it completes the look. Originally, I was gonna hate on the fact that he had brown boots a little bit, and with some of these action shots with the Hot Toys, I think the jacket really pops, along with the blue and yellow. It works, it matches, I understand it so much more. There are only really 3 changes that I would make here. Give him the trunks, give him the same shade of yellow on the boots, as well as put the ear cuffs on the visor. That's it, and I would say the suit is pretty much perfect. And finally, at the number 1 spot, we have Robert Downey Jr.'s Victor Von Doom, aka Dr. Doom. This suit is fucking peak. We got some new shots of him in the trailer with the armor, and it looks really great on screen. And it also matches the promo material that we've been getting, so we know that this is Dr. Doom's suit. This looks like Doom, it sounds like Doom, it feels like Doom, and I'm so glad. I cannot wait to see more of this. And looking at his suit, the cloak is awesome as well as the mask. It's kind of an amalgamation of a couple different masks to make their own, and I think it works great. We have the chainmail here, and the clasps on this cloak. I think these two, along with the one in the back of his hand, are enchantments on his armor. And that's probably why he stops Stormbreaker with just 2 fingers. The pattern going down the middle of the suit also is great, and we have this belt buckle. Besides the 90s Fantastic Four film, this is the first time we've had an actual Dr. Doom suit, like the comics, and we're finally going for it. I think this is probably going to be the best suit that we see in the movie. At least for me, so far it is, and there's not really much more to say. Especially too, Doom is getting his own hot toy as well as his throne, and both of these look so sick, and it appears with a hot toy we might also see Doom have the Darkhold. I'm really interested to see how that's all going to tie in, but especially with these Hot Toys photos, this suit looks so good, and I cannot wait to see it in action in the film. If you read the books of Doom, I hope we get some of the story told in the movie. It's great, and I kind of think they're going to dive into it a little bit. But with that being said, that was my ranking. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Go ahead and drop it. I cannot wait to see more of Avengers Doomsday and Dr. Doom. Like I had said, go read the books of Doom if you haven't. I think it'll really help set Victor Von Doom apart from Tony Stark in your mind going into Doomsday, because for some people, I know it's gonna be hard to differentiate Iron Man from Dr. Doom, especially if they have the same face. This might help a little bit with that. With that though, it's been Caden, or Cantina Comics, and I will see you all in the next one.